da. Oh, my webcam is not on. We're starting off great. Oh, let me fix that. Sorry, guys. Appreciate the nice background I made in the meantime. Oh, my lordy. Okay. Music is playing. I think. It's very quiet though. Maybe I'll turn it up a little and then fix the camera. Oh god, here we go. There we go. Okay, who's ready for a face cam reveal? It's not that scary. Okay. Okay. Oh gosh. I didn't make my drink! Oh, okay, you know what? I'm staying off camera until I make my drink. But hi, friends. Hi, everyone. Does anyone ever get in that mood to be like, I wish I had people to talk to, but like, I'm at home during like a work day, and everybody's working, and you can't really call anyone because they're working and being responsible adults, right? But then you're at home because A, I had an appointment this morning that I had to be a part of, so I couldn't work. And then I was trying to find an afternoon job, but the only afternoon job that appeared was for kindergarteners. For those that don't know, I'm a substitute teacher, and as much as money is money, job is a job, kindergarten, too young for me. They're too little. They're little, they're gross, they're hyperactive, they're energetic. They're just too much, okay? So I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna have a fun day today. I'm just gonna have a fun day. And then the fun day was fun for about a couple hours. Then I got bored and wanted to yap. So, hi. And that's what we're doing today. Oh god, I want my voice not to die on me. Also, fair warning, the shirt that I'm wearing, for whatever reason, the V or like the cutoff or whatever doesn't want to be straight today no matter what I do, so it's okay though, I'm not straight either. Hi! Hi everyone, it's me! Hi, I'm probably the problem. It's me, but hey everybody. I don't know what I'm doing with this. I sat down and I had so many thoughts in my mind. I was like journaling, because that's good for your mental health, right? Journaling. And I just like had all these topics in my brain. Like I literally made a list of topics before I started journaling to kind of help focus my writing, because sometimes I get a little off track and wandering. And then I looked at this list and I was like, why don't I just yap with people on a stream and about the list and things. So here we are. I don't know if anyone will be here. I don't know if anyone will watch this, but that's okay. I'll just kind of yap. But first of all, if you are here, hello. How you doing? Let me know in the chat. Le chat. Although you guys are not a cat, but you are a le chat. What would chat be in Espanol? I don't know actually. Correos? Maybe correos? I don't remember. I'm trying to think multilingually here, but it's not working great. Well, hi. Okay, the music is playing. It might be a little loud. Let me adjust here. God, it's so weird to be like looking at myself on a stream, but here I am. First thing I want to say is hi. Look at my background. I made this. I just found colors that looked nice on Paint. Yeah, that's right, Microsoft Paint or whatever it is. And I just had fun kind of like swirling it around and mixing it, and so we got a pretty little like sunset-y background. So made that. Proud of myself. Go me. Second thing is, of course, I am still fundraising for Extra Life. This is year numero 6. Year 6. So I will throw them links down in chat so you guys all have access to information like the donation link. We have new incentives. Hey, actually, if you do have any spare monies and you want to donate, we can do some of those incentives live, which would be fun. So yeah, you can donate by clicking the first link in chat that I just put. If you want to read more up on Extra Life and what they do, I put the information about the charity there as well. And of course, if you can't donate or anything like that, just share the stream. That always helps. Word of mouth, as people say, Yeah. All right. That's business. But yeah, help us get that bar. See that bar right here? Doop, 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 doop. Want that bar to get a little more pinky purple. So any donation would be helpful for this year. All right, let's yap. Let's get talking, hey? What's on my brain today? The first thing that's been on my brain, and because it's like the first thing that happened today, was my appointments. So, what's crazy? Having this healthcare, being a citizen of Alberta and having this healthcare thing for my whole life and not realizing you can get access to a dietitian. What? You can do that. Like, you get like a certain number of appointments are free, depending on what kind of coverage you have or what your insurance is like or whatever. And so I haven't seen a dietitian since September. We've had about 4 or 5 meetings, and it's been life-changing. Like, just, it feels so good to have someone who's like, you don't have to change everything you eat all at once in a scary kind of big way. Just start making small substitutions or add a few things to what you normally would eat. And so it's been really cool to kind of experiment with foods that I like and don't like, as well as just kind of seeing what is good out there. And I did not realize how much I loved granola. What? I mean, I do get granola with like things in it. So I have right now honey and oat. I have oats, honey, and almond granola that I put with like yogurt and some fruit, if I can afford fruit, which not always. But yeah, even just yogurt and granola is like something I've not really done in a while. And so having that for breakfast has been so nice and like more filling than just what yogurt is. Because I found I was just having yogurt by itself for a while, and that would not be filling for me. It was not enough to get me to lunchtime. And so by adding like granola and chia seeds, I haven't done the chia seeds yet, but I'm going to start slowly experimenting and adding more things to my mixes to see if I like them. And so that kind of helps make you feel more full. And there's a whole bunch of other reasons why I have to start kind of thinking about fiber and protein and such for health stuff that I've got going on. So it's been kind of nice to do that and experiment a little with different foods. Also, like, just simple substitutions like, hey, instead of jasmine or white or basmati rice, try brown rice or like whole grain or whatever it is. So I have brown rice and it's not too bad. I don't like cooking it. I need to find a way to make it better for me or easier for me to cook, or I just need to get good at cooking rice. But it's just a simple substitution, right? That like will make a difference slowly but surely over time. And oddly enough, I love this dietitian because she's like, you need to get more dairy and protein in your life, so have more eggs and cheese. I'm like, more cheese? Sold. I love cheese, so absolutely I'll add more cheese in my life. So that's been cool too. And also I've been having yogurt more, and even went to cereal for a little while, but I don't like milk as much as milk is like once in a while kind of thing for me, not an everyday thing. And so my milk would expire so quick because I would have it like once a week, and then all of a sudden milk expires and you're like, oh, guess I can't have that anymore. So maybe I should have added it to coffee and get some sugar and actually have like milk and sugar coffee, but I don't know. I cannot get rid of my creamers just yet. Not yet. But there is zero sugar creamers out there that have been nice to like discover, so I've been doing that route as well. And so yeah, this morning the appointment was great. She's just like, now we talked about all this like health stuff or all this food stuff and like the substitutions you're making, which is incredible. Good job for doing that. But I want an update because last time we chatted, you were thinking of going to your doctor to talk about your polycystic ovarian syndrome and how like things have been getting like progressively worse for you since you've been off your medication for over a year. So what's the update? And I was like, oh, let me tell you. So it goes to my next topic very nicely is, yeah, for those that don't really know me, if you're just like lurking and listening in today, I have polycystic ovarian syndrome. It is like the number one cause for infertility in women. Did you know that? Fun fact. And guess what? It is absolutely a thing. I am definitely infertile, and I'll get to more of that in a moment. But typically, most doctors out there will treat it with just a similar kind of prescriptions, birth control, metformin. So I've been doing that for 15 years. Well, I guess it would have been 14 years since all this stuff started. And I think back in May 2023, I think, around there, May 2023, I was being a good girl and taking my medication every day and religiously and at the same time like you're supposed to, and with every meal like you're supposed to, and still my menstruation, my periods, were getting longer. Because that's another sign of PCOS, is either they're like non-existent for long periods of times or you just don't have one, or with cases like me and who I am, you will have your period for a long period of time and then it'll disappear for like a couple months and then come back for a long period of time. And so I thought it was really weird that like normally you finish your pack of birth control, you have your period for 5 to 7 days or whatever it is, and then it goes away, and then you know that, you finish another pack, it comes back. Well, for a couple months in a row, that was not the case. I was still having my period despite going back on birth control after taking like a week off. And so I was like, well, something's wrong. That's not good. And so saw my doctor in May 2023, and he's like, yeah, I think it's time when you start exploring options like IUD or mainly IUD and different kinds of IUDs, maybe even hysterectomy, or we tried different dosages of birth control and metformin. Now, if you know, if I've been on this lovely prescription for, again, like I said, 14 years. And over those 14 years, we've tried so many different kinds of birth control and dosages and metformin amounts per day. We started off with 1 per day, and then 2 per day, and then 3, and then we just kept changing dosages like crazy to see if it would work over the last 14 years. And so it got to the point where even he agreed. He's like, we're going to get you off of those because it's not helping and it's not doing the job anymore, and we're kind of running out of affordable options for that prescription and for that work. And so in May 2023, I went off of my meds for PCOS. And then we did a bunch of research. We talked about the options, and based on like the discussions I had with people, reading things online, because like again, my PCOS isn't the standard one. Mine is a bit more extreme. So the standard one is like, it's very light, it lasts a long time, and then it goes away for a long time, or you just don't have a period at all for a while. That's typically the standard PCOS symptoms that most women experience. But for me, I need a drink. So hydrate. But for me, mine's different. When I go on sorry, my cat just got so cute. All of a sudden, he's so cute over there. Although he looks like a grumpy, sleepy old man right now. Hi, Mitzi. For mine, the reason why I think I'm hesitating is because this is a big vulnerability thing, like crazy. So, hi. But for my menstrual cycle, when I get on mine, I tend to have mine for a long period of time. And for that long period of time, it is like very heavy flowing with tons of clotting and just, feeling disgusting, being bloated almost every day. And the exhaustion kills in many ways because if you think about it, having a period for like 30 days, 40 days, 20 days even, with it just heavily like flowing, it's not great, not fun. And so I did a bunch of research and kind of spoke to people who I know had it in my life, including like my family, because it's genetic. And it seems like the option that would help a lot with just that part of PCOS, like the facial hair, whatever, right? The hormonal imbalances that causes mood changes, whatever, right? And weight loss and weight gain. Weight gain's a part of it too. Whatever. I'm on medication that helps me with that now. But it's this like period part that really is debilitating. And so I've been trying to advocate for myself with my very stubborn doctor that I want like either a partial hysterectomy where it's just the uterus that gets removed. I want that kind of gone, or a full hysterectomy, and he's been butting heads with me on that choice for over a year now. And I went to one gynecologist already and she was terrible. I'm not going to go into that experience, but she basically like did a little bit of harm and was not listening very well and tried to make me do another surgery that I didn't want to do. It was just a whole mess. So that also was like a case against me and trying to, again, advocate that I want this because, yeah, it can be harmful and it can cause other things going on in your body, like being anemic, being iron deficient, the extreme fatigue, and also like a little bit of muscle loss can happen too because like because you're not moving as much when you're on my kind of periods. So it's just been awful, and I've been trying to advocate for this for over a year now. And my doctor's still butting heads against me. And so recently, over this like period of time since May 2023, my periods have started to kind of like, they were normal-ish for a while, but with each period I got, whenever I did get it, they would get kind of longer and longer. So it would be like, okay, this one was like 10 days, no big deal. I don't care about 10 days. That's pretty close to the 5 to 7, whatever. Then it'd be like 16 days. Then it became like a whole month. And then it became another month-long experience. And then it became what I'm currently going through. I've been on my period since end of November. And it hasn't gone away. It hasn't really lightened up in this time. There's been a few light days where I'm like, okay, knock on wood, this is the day it's gonna end. I'm finally gonna be over it. And no. So I finally went back to my doctor and told him all this and explained everything. And I asked if we could do like blood work and maybe an ultrasound just to kind of see what might be going on in my uterus and if there's anything wonky or weird with my blood work, because I don't know, I'm just getting really worried about this, and it's impacted me a lot. Like, a lot. I mean, my room's a mess right now. I haven't had a lot of energy to put laundry away I'm looking at my room right now. Like, I'll put away laundry, take dishes to the kitchen and clean them. I've had some takeout stuff all over, different containers. I mean, I've got a lot of medicine right now because I'm on a lot of prescriptions and vitamins to try to help, but I just, yeah, and then like when you're at your worst during these times, like you don't want to work, you don't want to leave the house, so I literally took off a whole week of work recently because of just how poorly I've been feeling with all this going on. And my doctor was a dick during that appointment where I asked for blood work and ultrasound. He's like, what's the point? We know what it's gonna say. It's gonna say you have these kinds of levels. It's gonna indicate that you have PCOS. Like, why are we doing blood work? And I was like, damn, why are we like, why are we so aggressive about this? I just want to make sure that there's nothing else going on. Like, I don't want to, if there's a surprise on that test, it'd be nice to know so then we can handle it. Maybe I'm overreacting and maybe these exams will prove nothing. Okay. But what if there is something going on? What if what I'm experiencing isn't actually my period and something else is happening? Like, can we just, yeah, let's do these tests. And he finally agreed after debating it with me for 5 or so minutes, which is, again, frustrating. Like, that's why advocacy is so hard, because at least with my doctor, he's been very adamant about, nope, we're going to do it this way, or nope, we have to do it this way, or nope, you're going to do it that way. And I'm just like, but it's not helping. It's not doing anything. But he finally agreed to do the test. And then he checked in with me going like, and have you been to a gynecologist yet? Because we put that referral in for you like a few months ago. I was like, nope. Every time I call and check in, poor Nurse Jacob, we'll just call him Nurse Jacob, he keeps having to send out my referral to different gynecologists in my area because my referral's being rejected. And so I should have been seeing a gynecologist as like this week. My doctor predicted that you'd probably see a gynecologist at the end of January, February. This is back in like October, or back in November, actually. Yeah, back in November. You'll probably see a gynecologist around like end of January, February. I was like, sweet. But now it's going to be much later than that because my referral keeps getting rejected. So he looked into it, and yeah, it was rejected. So he ended up actually asking Nurse Jacob to send my referral out to multiple doctors at once so that we can kind of just get more coverage across the city to find someone for me. So I appreciated that. But then he's like, and what do you want to do again? Are you wanting like short-term relief, like trying birth control and metformin again? Or do you want to like have it, and is it the IUD, right? You want an IUD? I was like, no, I want hysterectomy. And then he immediately went on to this huge long tirade about like, you're too young for a hysterectomy. I don't believe in it. All the gynecologists in the city are probably going to reject you because you're not 45. And so I think you need to change your expectations. And I was like, even a partial hysterectomy? He's like, what? Just the uterus? I'm like, yeah. The part that's causing me a lot of harm and everyday like bullshit going on. And he's like, I guess you could try that, but like it's not gonna happen for you. And so I don't even have a doctor who's advocating for me or believes in me or even is standing up for me right now. So that's been really hard because like it just feels hopeless. It sort of feels like, well, I guess I should put myself through the IUD. Like, I'm almost kind of leaning into it, but at the same time, I know that's not what I want. I don't want children. I've never really wanted children through the biological means. I want kids one day, but like through adopting or fostering, that's been sort of in my head for about a decade now. Not quite a decade, probably about 7, 8 years that's the kind of route I want to take. And that's because the last couple of pap smears I've had, I'm not ovulating, and so I'm not really fertile. Despite all the things we're doing to help with my PCOS, which clearly hasn't worked. So that's been a challenge. And I keep thinking about it every day. And it's hard not to think about it every day. Because if you think about it, you are flowing every day. So when I wake up in the morning and I go do my routine, go to the washroom, bam, I see what's in the toilet and I'm like, crap. And it gets all of the stuff gets brought up again for me. And so it's been hard, like, to deal with that. And every time I see the flow getting lighter and lighter and lighter, I'm like, this this is the one. This is gonna be the day where I'm finally gonna be done with this, and I can like be normal or feel normal again. And it's not every day for like 62 days now. Is that right? No, 61 days. It's been like that every day for 61 days. So yeah, it's constantly on my mind. I'm constantly pushing myself past my limitations when it comes to energy or exercise or social battery or anything. I have to constantly push against myself and what's going on with my body to live. And even though I tell my doctor all these things, every time I go see him, he doesn't want to hear anything I have to say. So, but I'm not giving up, not yet. Whenever the gynecology appointment happens, whenever one is actually, knock on wood, set up, I have my very gung-ho little shit sister who is going to come up with me for that appointment, and I'm going to be very firm in my decision, and I'm going to advocate for myself first, and then if I get dismissed or they don't hear me out, or they quickly kind of like reject my option or my idea, get your little sister in there. Just, she can yell at them. Because knowing me, what happens in those appointments where I'm trying my best to like phrase things and advocate for myself, I'll bring my little notebook full of notes and like just proof of everything that's been going on with me for the last little while, or almost 2 years now, I guess. I'll get done saying all of that, I'll hear them out, and then if it's not exactly what I want to hear, and I argue and kind of have a debate with them for a while, I start to cry, and then I shut down. Something I need to work on. It's hard though when your emotions start to take over, because again, this is something that is so hard and impacts my daily life. And so when it's constantly being met with rejection or judgments or society's expectations of women having children, I ended up crying a lot and shutting down. So I think I'm gonna do the smart thing this time whenever this next gynecology appointment comes, and just have my sister in there, because she won't take shit from no one. And you kind of need someone like that in your life for these big moments and these big things that you're going through. So cheers to my sister, because I need them in my life for sure. Oh my god, do I ever. Oh, we got on a topic and a half. It got on a topic and a half. That went on longer than I thought it would. Again, I'm just going through my list. Just going through this lovely little list here and checking things off. But what was great about today, though, is that I got to tell my dietitian about like the updates, because she was so interested. She's like, you gotta, like, I'm with you. Absolutely. If you need the hysterectomy, get it. Keep advocating for yourself. You need to take care of your body, because Violet, you and I can sit here and like talk all about like, you know, changing your diet, implementing more exercise, doing these substitutions, and we can do this all. But if you're not feeling good in your body, and your body is kind of rejecting things because of PCOS or because of what you're going through, then we can only make so much progress. And so she's been a huge like advocate for me, or well, not advocate, I guess more of like someone who can validate me and my choices that I'm making. So she's been so good. And today she was like finally so mad. She was like, how dare your doctor dismiss you? You are coming to him scared. You're coming to him anxious. You're coming to him because you don't feel good. And he rejects your care, and he rejects you and doesn't care for you. That's not okay. And then she's like, and what sucks too is that in our lovely province of Alberta, we have a doctor shortage right now. So switching doctors isn't necessarily going to be an easy thing to do right now. And so she just really felt for me today, and that like her and I both cried on the phone talking about it. because she's also angry for me and wishes that she could get involved, but she can't because all she can do is send notes to my doctor about dietitian and nutrition and things I'm doing. That's all she's allowed to do. So it sucks. But I don't know, it just feels nice to be, it feels good to be validated because I don't think people realize how hard it is to go through what I am going through every day. Like, it is crazy. So having her on my side was kind of nice this morning. And my therapist is the same way. She's like, don't tell me your doctor's name, because if I find out your doctor's name, I'm gonna write a strongly worded email. I was like, no, I don't really want that. But I'm almost at the point where I'm like, maybe I should let my therapist write a strongly worded email to my doctor. That would be hilarious to me, if I'm honest, because yeah, she's been through this journey with me for over a year now, my therapist. So good times. But yeah, I love that both of them have my side on this and are trying to take care of me the best they can, while knowing that I will have limitations, because until there is some sort of resolve with my PCOS, we can only get so far with like my mental health journey, my trauma journey, and my like nutrition, diet, exercise journey. So they are kind of hanging in there with me and hoping that we get a results or a resolution soon. And God, me too. Wouldn't that be great? I would love that as well. I'm not gonna lie. I would love a resolution soon, so all these other things can just kind of be put into place. And this triangle of healthcare that I'm in right now, of like dietitian, mental health, and overall health, can be like symbiotic with each other. Finally, hopefully. But it's not always the case. It's definitely not always the case. So, good times. Well, yeah, let's bring up a fun topic, because when I've been journaling for my mental health and just getting, brain dumping is such a huge thing for me lately, because my brain gets so full of stuff. I like to also talk about the good things I'm doing, or like the fun things I'm watching or playing or enjoying right now. So I'm doing that too in the stream. We're gonna go back and forth between topics today because I came prepared. I've got a list. So let's go to a fun one. Media that I'm consuming lately. Because naturally, when you're home all week due to period pain, no confidence, bloating, and crazy ass cravings like constantly, you need something to do. And when you don't have energy, cleaning is not an option really, laundry's not an option. Cuddling my cat is very much an option, which is why I got a bit of cat hair on my shirt today. Hi. You consume media. So I have been watching a lot of Gilmore Girls. I'm back on rewatching this. It actually started on January 20th. We all know what that day was, right? In America. And what the rest of the world was kind of glued in onto. Inauguration Day. Don't need to say more than that. And I knew that like friends would be probably feeling this like crazy. And so I think it was that week we were supposed to play D&D, I think, on a Saturday. But things fell through and it just didn't work out for a session. And I was like, well, I'm still worried about people. I'm still worried about friends. And it seems like some people really wanted something to happen, like a session. So I offered to kind of put on Gilmore Girls. And so my friend Han, and a little later on, a few episodes in, poor Ryan, a few episodes later, came in and watched Gilmore Girls with me. And then I'm that person, by the way, if we sit down and watch something together, I typically want to wait till we're all back together to keep watching. But with Gilmore Girls, I couldn't anymore. I think we had a couple hangouts. We had the initial one to kind of start the series. Then we had another hangout that Ryan invited me. He's like, hey, Hannah and I are hanging out. Like, do you want to come hang out with us? I'm like, sure. I can put on Gilmore Girls in the background while you guys do whatever. So we had, again, 2 good hangouts for watching Gilmore Girls. But then after that night, I was like, I don't know if I can wait. I don't know if I can wait for all of us to keep watching. So I've kind of continued on. Sorry, Ryan. Sorry, Han. Watching it myself, and oh my god, it's so good. The humor is so like so dry and so dark sometimes, but also like on point. And I love it so much. Thank you, Lorelai, for being a wonderful character, for just embodying different types of humor constantly throughout a series, but also like the character development and growth and mistakes and humanizing it. It's just such a good show. It's very comforting. I literally will wrap myself up in a blanket and kind of have like a coffee or water or something in my hands and just kind of like sipping and watching it. And just watching a lot of it. So I'm already like almost done season 2. Because yeah, just another rewatch of it. I think it's my 7th or 8th rewatch of Gilmore Girls. Because I don't know, it's one of those shows that, I don't know, makes you feel human in like a good way and in a very seen way. And also being a millennial and kind of growing up in that age of like no internet or dial-up internet and like 4 or 5 channels of cable TV. It hits home for some nostalgic feelings as well. So it's just, I love Gilmore Girls, but god damn Rory. Isn't she a little problematic sometimes? Oof. I have to remember she's young, right? She's only a teenager. Teenagers make tons of mistakes, but I don't know, man. Now that I'm watching it again for like the 8th time, I think, I'm just like, you should have seen the red flags. I mean, both characters, both Rory and Dean, y'all should have seen the red flags. Come on, guys. You should have, right? No. Nope. But anyway. Gilmore Girls, so good. It just, I love it. What else have I been consuming? Well, I've got my weekly stuff. So I watched, oh, Mitzi, you're so cute. Don't fall behind the bed again. My cat tends to do that. He rolls right up against the wall, and then he nuzzles himself between like the mattress and the wall and will in the ground. And I'm like, buddy, oh god, okay. So he's, oh good, he's moving. He heard me talking about him, so he's now moving a bit further into the bed. Good boy. The stuff that I've been watching weekly, though, I've been watching 90 Day Fiancé. I'm a bit of a reality TV buff. Yeah, but it's so good. We've got 90 Day Fiancé Before the 90 Days. It's wrapping up, actually. I think next week is the last tell-all part 4 or something, which is crazy. But we got that kind of wrapping up here right away, and it's been a problematic season for me. I find a lot of the people are making choices that are either way too selfish or way too selfless. So it's kind of both ends of the spectrum where, you know, they are like, I'm not going to tell them because I want to make sure we connect and bond first before I tell them all my secrets. And I'm like, no. Or it's like, I'm changing my mind about this because I've decided that it's not for me, even though I told my partner I'd be happy with it. I'm like, guys, please, what the fuck? Or making a secret sex tape of someone, never okay. Consent, always. So a lot of drama in Before the 90 Days, and I haven't really enjoyed it as much. There's been like maybe a couple or two on that show where I'm like, okay, I like your story. But with the tell-all now, I'm like, I don't like any of your stories. I don't like any of this. So I might need a break from like the 90 Day Fiancé franchise here soon. But the other one that happens on Monday nights tonight, woohoo, is 90 Day Fiance The Last Resort. And that one is like where all these couples from the 90 Day franchise come to this like therapy retreat. Or yeah, couples therapy retreat. And they have a group of therapists that are with them. They spend 2 weeks there doing like really intense daily therapy.
Get a credit card annual fee waiver and earn C+ points faster with the Scotiabank Ultimate.
I'm so sorry about the ads. Oh no. It's going so good until then. Wait for the ads to be over. There we go. Okay. I was like, did I press play? And so yeah, it's these couples that have been a little problematic throughout the franchise, coming to this like resort for a couple weeks, and they go through intense therapy. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, they have kind of like a recommitment ceremony where they choose to stay together, stay married, or they're going to go their separate ways. The first season of this was crazy, and some couples that I thought wouldn't say yes actually did say yes at that ceremony, so that was kind of cool, and like that's positive, right? And then in this season so far, we're in the middle of it, so I can't predict either way, but I'm feeling like a lot of the couples are gonna go their own way, which will be heartbreaking and sad, but all adds to the drama, so I'm into it. And like some of the therapy activities in this season are so different from what you might picture therapy as being. Like there was this one that I actually really liked where as a couple, like two couples kind of sat side by side. They had this like sandbox in front of them, and then they had a bunch of like little kids toys and figurines and things kind of all around the sandbox. And the like therapist that came in to kind of lead the session was like, okay, I want you to use the figurines around you and in the sandbox, split your sandbox in half. So one person gets one side, the other person gets the other side. And I want you to sort of like visualize or make a picture of what it looks like when you are happy as a couple. And so they did that exercise and they had to talk about it, about like, I feel good when, and I chose these figurines and this kind of like placement here, because I remember the one time we went to Texas and we got to try riding the mechanical bull, or like whatever the story was, and just kind of feel that connection between the partners again. And then they emptied the box and kind of resanded it out, or like brushed it out, or whatever it's called. And then they had to do like, okay, now show me an image of when things are not going well, and how to use the same figurines. So it was a really interesting activity, and I probably would have struggled with it because I'm not a visual person per se, and some of the people in that activity were like, I don't know how to do this, but once you get started and you're like hearing what your partner's doing and you're hearing other people explain it, then it seemed like the people who were struggling were able to kind of pick something and run with it. So it was a really interesting activity to kind of do and demonstrate. So yeah, learning a lot from this show. Learning a lot from 90 Day Fiance The Last Resort, something I never thought I would say in my life. There you go, media, right? More recently, I've also been watching Jen and Aliona streams regularly, and Deborah Wild's streams. They are Baldur's Gate 3 actors, and in other games as well. Like Deborah, for example, does play a character in Silent Hill 2, so she's been streaming that as well as Baldur's Gate 3, and very entertaining, very fun. Jen and Aliona as well, like I love their streams a lot, because I guess also kind of why I wanted to do this a little bit today. I was a bit motivated because the most recent Baldur's Gate 3 VOD that was uploaded to their YouTube channel, they were sharing some vulnerable things with like their community and their friends and whoever was at that stream, and I was like, I am very moved. I'm very emotional about this, and I feel like the more we talk about things like vulnerable topics, the more people will be seen, more people will learn more, and kind of just, yeah, it's just a good thing in general. So I really have been loving watching the VODs if I can't catch a stream, and just enjoying everything about like how they handle topics and handle scary gameplay like Silent Hill. Oh my god, I would never. And then most recently, I also have been finding a reaction videos. So I have been watching reaction videos to people discovering Taylor Swift for the first time, or like rediscovering her after a long period of time. And not all the reaction videos are great. Some of them are like, oh, whatever, it's gonna be about this, and kind of like dismiss her. And don't get me wrong, not everybody has to love Taylor Swift. I know. But like, people come in with like a poor attitude about her already, and then that kind of spoils or kind of like influences their reaction quite a lot. And so what I love about Jackson, who is a young guy, is that he goes in going like, you know what, I know literally nothing about this album, nothing about Taylor and her life during this period. I know nothing. All I know is what the Kanye West community says about Taylor, and well, that makes me a little anxious to kind of pop in and do a reaction video to an album, but let's do it. And so Jackson's been so fun to watch. Like, I found his Reputation reaction video on YouTube, and then after that, like, a ton of other clips kept popping on my TikTok and like Instagram reels. And so I was like, all right, let's get caught up. So I watched his Reputation reaction, 1989 reaction, Midnight's reaction, and I've just been kind of going down that rabbit hole. Anything that Taylor Swift does or another artist I recognize that he's reacting to, I will go watch or put on as like a background thing for when I'm actually being productive in life. And he's just wonderful, a bundle of energy, so appreciative of like what artists do in their songs when it comes to like the lyrics, to the instrumental, the music, the background, production quality. Like, he actually genuinely appreciates all of those elements. So that's been really cool to kind of like, oh, yeah, hell yeah, I never thought about a Taylor Swift song in that way, but I hear it now and I love it. Like, this is so cool. So Jackson's been really cool to discover. And I'm definitely sticking around for not just the Taylor Swift stuff, because he's been reacting to like Gracie Abrams and Britney Spears and a few other like pop artists, Sabrina Carpenter. So it's been really cool to kind of like be like, oh, neat, I love it. Hip hop guy is now becoming a more R&B and pop guy. I appreciate it. I love it. Deep down, super love it. Oh man, I've been very yappy. Oh my goodness, but I like being yappy. And the last thing I was going to talk about for media appreciation is actually thanks to Ryan. Just yesterday, we got to watch a little bit of Dungeon Menchie, or Delicious in Dungeon. And I'm hooked. We're 4 episodes in, and I think that series is going to change my life. Yep, I think it's going to change my life. Because it's so neat that like each episode is so fun and interesting, full of information, unique character dynamics, unique adventures, but also tied to some sort of like little moral lesson or like a little life lesson to take away from things. So it just has so much packed into like a 27-minute episode. And so I love it so much. And plus, as Ryan got to discover, I'm a big Bump of Chicken fan. Bump of Chicken, it syncs a few openings for different animes. So March Comes in Like a Lion, Spy Family, and now Dungeon Menchie. So I was like, oh, Bump of Chicken! I had a funny little reaction to that when I discovered that they were singing the opening to that anime. So again, so much good content out there. Some of it's for cozy vibes, some of it's just to kind of put on as a background. Some of it's because I'm genuinely enjoying it. So if you want some recommendations, there you go. Gilmore Girls, Dungeon Meshi, Jackson, Jen Eliona, Devora, Wild, 90 Day Fiance. Sure. I haven't talked about Sister Wives. We don't need to. I will say this after 19 seasons. Cody sucks. That's all you need to know. There you go. Oh man. Okay. I have been chatting for a while, so I'm going to take a small little break real quick and get some drinks, and then we will continuing yammering here in a moment. So yeah, I'm going to take a little hydration break. So if you need to hydrate as well, go hydrate. And we'll be back in just a moment. That is such a good question, Fruit Tape. I will get back to you in just a moment. I'm taking a quick break, but I don't have a story like that, but I have something similar. I'll be right back. I'll tell you that story in just a moment. Okay, back. So I love that Fruit Ape is now. I can see your username now. Fruit Ape. Hi. So do you have a story when people were walking in line and someone suddenly stopped walking and all the people crashed into each other? Not exactly. But my story is more about like, okay. So picture London, England, super busy on the tube, tons of people crowding around, kind of waiting to get on to a train. And so it was on the opposite side of the platform. I was kind of waiting across the platform for my train, but it was so packed on the other side, like tons of people waiting, going the opposite direction I was going. And it was so funny to watch because the train arrived, the doors opened, people came out, and then it was time for the others to kind of start piling onto the train and hopefully find a seat or find somewhere to stand that wasn't too much in the way or whatever, right? And this one door, for some reason, this person kind of was just like, it looked like their arms were extended and were like, was holding the door, and it kind of was just like, all of a sudden it was just like bam, and holding the doors open and kind of just standing there. It was very quick, very sending, like very shocking, I guess, in many ways. And then, but what happened was people did not see this happen right away, and they just kind of like tackled this poor person into the train, and the poor person's arms were kind of like almost ripped back, and then they stumbled in, and all you could hear as doors were kind of closing behind was like just screaming and yelling like, "Get off of me, I was stopping because someone was throwing up and I don't understand anymore." So it was just kind of like, damn, okay. It was entertaining. So it wasn't necessarily like someone, like a line of, just a single line of people crashing into each other. It was more like a whole crowd basically charging into this one person as someone on the train was throwing up, and then it was just a big mess. So that's a funny story that happened one time when I was on the London Underground when I was living in the UK for a couple years. So there's that. There is that. Fun little story to share with everyone today. Yeah, right? London has fun stories all the time. I have more train and transit stories to share one day, eventually. Yeah, it's good times. What else do I gotta talk about today? I don't know, I'm just yammering, just yapping. got through most of my topics already, so we might wrap up stream soon or put on some Stardew Valley. But I was gonna say too, it's a very interesting time that we're all living in, whether you are in America or not. There's been a lot going on with the world, and some of it has to do with like social media too. Do you remember the biggest human pileup incident that happened to me? I wonder. Let me think about that for a moment. Nothing about the London Underground. I mean, the trains are always crowded no matter what, so nothing exciting there to share about. But I suppose the big pileup thing that I was kind of like pushed into a little bit was, I think it was at VidCon 20. No, it wasn't VidCon. I think it was Indie PopCon. I went to Indie PopCon, which is a pop culture convention in Indianapolis, and I had to split my time between two different friend groups. And so that gets tricky, right? Because you're like, oh, I want to spend time with the people I'm staying with and like the friends that I originally connected with. But then you also want to spend time with the other friends that you connected with, and you want to see them as well, naturally. And I got lucky at one panel because both groups of people were there. And we were all kind of near each other, so I could kind of easily go back and forth between both groups throughout like the panel and kind of afterwards. Before that was the plan, but unfortunately it was a really big panel because we had Charles Martinet there, the voice actor for Mario, you know, me, Mario, he was there. And then there's a few other people too that were big names. I can't remember everybody, but it was a huge big voice actor panel. And we got there pretty early because we figured it was going to be busy, and sure enough, it got so busy that people were actually pushing others out of chairs so that they can save seats for their friends. And what happened with me was, because I was between these two groups of people, I was in the middle. Both ends of the row were being squished in because people were trying to steal our seats. And so naturally people were pushing in, and I just kept getting squished to eventually to the point where I had to duck down, crawl underneath the chairs of the row in front of me, and then kind of made it up to the front. And I just kind of sat at an empty seat wherever I could, and I got separated from both groups of friends. I was trying to balance it, right? I wanted to be between both so that I can like chat with them or react with both of them to what was going on in the panel. Instead, I literally got squeezed out of that row and was forced to the front. It was not a well-handled situation at that panel. They should have limited capacity, but they did not, and it ended up being a very intense situation for the entire panel. But I got to meet up with both groups of friends afterwards, and they got to meet each other, and it all worked out in the end. But I definitely got squeezed out of a row, literally, during a panel at Indie PopCon in 2016, one of those years. Very weird moment in my life. It doesn't help that I'm only 5'1", 5'2", so I'm kind of little, but also big. Naturally, I'm a bit of a bigger person, but I'm little. So people would pile up almost over me, which is why I had to like go down and under chairs, because everybody was taller than I was. So they naturally overpowered me, shrunk me down, and I had to squeeze out of the chairs to get out. Life. Gotta love it. But yeah, back to another little topic I have is social media. I find when big things are happening in the world, social media is one of those places where it can be good to get information from. It's good to kind of see what's happening and see what's going on, but it can also be quite emotionally charged. It can also be quite like almost like a angry pouring of information and like frustration, and it should be. We should also get all those feelings out. I think it's healthy, I think it's important, but what ends up happening in those moments of like heightened emotions, heightened frustrations, especially when breaking news is happening literally live, people start to attack each other. And it can be hard because, on one hand, you want to be on social media and you want to be on the websites and the news sources and all these places to be informed, see what's going on, looking at all sides of what's happening, and then forming your own opinion. Like, those are the 4 steps, really. It's like, see what's going on, get some information, see what people are saying, learn both sides of the topic, and then form an opinion on your own. Like, I think that's the way people should approach it. However, a lot of the last 2 steps gets kind of thrown out the window, or a couple steps get missed, such as people just seeing what's being written online, freaking out, attacking the people, and going crazy because you have an opinion, or you think you have a full opinion on something, instead of actually having, or just maybe it's being one-sided, and it kind of attacks each other, and that leads to doom scrolling. It leads to a lot of negativity in one place. And yes, being upset and angry, perfectly fine. I get it. I understand. But also, like, I think it's okay to step back from that world, especially when you are in a heightened state of emotion. Take a deep breath, take a breather, take a break, and pause for a little bit. And maybe go look at sources outside of social media. Because that's really where you should go to get your information. You should go to, like, your trusted source of news, whether that is, for me, for example, I go to a couple different websites because I like seeing different opinions, and each website has their own bias, of course, to it. And so I like to go to CBC News, which is the Canadian Broadcasting Company news website. God, that sunlight is just coming out of nowhere all of a sudden. Hello. So I like to go there because I'm Canadian, so, like, you know, that's kind of a local Canadian perspective of what's going on in the world, or what's going on with the incidents per se. So I like kind of going to that source. But then I also like going to, like, BBC News, which I know people have problems with. I have problems with because I know the biases. You can see it very clearly in some of the articles that they post. But because I know, I can go into that article going, okay, I think one perspective is going to be more explained than the other. I know this. I'm going to take that with a grain of salt, but I still want to see what's being said. So I think my little random hole here is that we definitely need to start balancing a little bit more when it comes to social media and getting information. Social media is a good place to start because you can see why people are upset, why people are getting angry. You can also get some people who are trustworthy and posting, like, updates in real time, or, you know, just a lot of things. Like, there is some good to social media. But also, when it gets to the point where it's starting to be emotionally taxing on you, or if you want to jump in and get into fights, or you want to just start arguing with people, or making generalized statements of, like, if you believe this, then I hate you, that feels a little dangerous to me. And that's usually when I start seeing those posts coming up on my feed. I personally get off of it, and then I'm like, okay, I just saw a bunch of people really mad about this incident. I'm gonna go look up that incident now, and I'm gonna go see what is being said about it, or what's being reported about it. And that way I can make a decision. Now, typically, you know, with current things going on, I tend to agree with the people who are upset. It just sort of, because of the friends I have and the people I follow and sort of the community I have, I tend to definitely agree. But I'm definitely not that person who wants to react in the same way or handle it in the same way as everybody else. Now, part of that could be me being a very neutral person. I've had teachers throughout my whole entire life basically go, Violet, you're so good at being in the gray. You're so good at not being black or white or, like, right or wrong. You are so good at being in the middle. And I'm like, yeah. Part of that is because it's hard to make a choice. It's hard to have an opinion. And that's just how I grew up. But also, I think it's good to have that kind of middle ground approach to a lot of things so that you are informed and then you have information to back up your side of every stance. It's also what a good debater would do. Like if you are in debate, you would be very well rehearsed and well researched on both sides. Even though you have the opinion of one thing and you agree with that opinion, every good debater or researcher knows that you have to look at the other side as well so that you know what they're saying, so that if you are confronted with it or you're confronted with someone with a different opinion, you can actually back up both sides while also arguing for your side a bit better. So, there you go. There's just my stance here. I'm doing my best right now to balance the amount of time I'm on social media, how much I'm consuming from emotionally charged voices, versus getting information from more, from more balanced, newsy, reporty stuff, while still recognizing bias and recognizing that people, or even every news company, has their own morals and their own values, and they push out certain vocabulary that isn't always good. But still, doing your research and kind of staying informed without allowing the emotionally charged perspective to influence you. So I just wanted to have a bit of a thing like that. But by all means, let's say you do my approach and you do the research and you read everything and it makes you mad, then yeah, be mad. Have that emotion. Be angry. Be upset. Be scared. This is definitely a time in the world right now where a lot is changing. It's not going to go away quickly. So yeah, have those feelings. Be angry. Be upset. Express that. Be in your communities. Hang out with your friends. Talk to your friends. Like, we are all probably feeling the same way. Maybe for different reasons. But a lot of us are probably feeling the same way. So I think it's really important to just be in your community, be with the people you love and trust, while also making sure you're staying informed and balanced in your approach to dealing with world events. With my little, long-winded little soapbox message for everyone in this stream today. And if you don't agree with me, that's totally fine. We are all individuals trying to survive on this planet together. And so naturally, we're all gonna have different opinions. We're all gonna have different stances, but just note that I usually come from a pretty neutral standpoint until I get angry enough where it's not neutral anymore. And then I will voice things. So, speaking of, of voicing things, I'm with Palestine. I'm with the Ukraine. And I am anti-Trump. So, if you disagree with any of those, goodbye. I don't want you in my life. But there's other nuanced things, though, that are harder to be dead set against. And those things are the ones where you have to put a lot of care and attention to when it comes to research. Okay. That was a lot of seriousness, wasn't it? Moving on to some fun stuff. Gaming. Woohoo! Which I honestly might switch to Stardew Valley in just a little while, but I was gonna say, gaming for me lately has been so nice to just kind of go into a new world or a different world and escape real life for a while, escape social media for a little while. And I've been really playing a lot of Stardew Valley, so I've got a few different Stardew Valley challenges going on. I've got a Stardew challenge where you only play one Stardew Valley day per day in real life. So sometimes that can be 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes it can be 15 to 20 minutes depending on what you do in that Stardew Valley day, but you're only playing Stardew for that little bit of time. And so, for example, as of this stream, it is January 27th. So I'm on day 27 of spring in Stardew Valley. On my farm on the Switch and on my farm on the PC. So I gotta go in on both PC and Switch. And it is painful to only play that short amount of time every day. Part of me wants to let me just keep going. But I have to I have to restrain myself to not do that. So it is interesting though, especially because I'm doing the challenge both on PC and Switch, and both farms are at such different stages than I thought they would be on day 27 of spring. For example, my PC Stardew farm, which I might show you all here in a moment for this like one Stardew day per day challenge, I already have 2 chickens, 2 cows, so I've got a barn and a coop. I've got mayonnaise machines going, I got eggs going, I grew all my crops, a lot of my springtime related bundles are complete. Like, it's crazy. I did a lot on that farm, on my PC version of this challenge. And then my Switch version, though, I have chickens, I've got a coop, and I've been doing a lot of fishing and smoking because I did the beach farm, I think. Beach farm? Yeah, I think I did the beach farm, so I've been doing a lot of fishing, so all of my springtime fish are caught. I've been smoking all the fish to make more money, and then I've also been doing a lot of mining to upgrade some tools, so I've got some tools that are upgraded. So even though it's the same challenge, it's 2 very different farms and 2 very different experiences, which I think is so fun to do every day, because you can just kind of see the differences going, how did I do that? How's this happening? I don't understand. And on my one farm, I've got the cave system set up already by Demetrius, and on the other farm, I don't. It's so weird. It is so weird. And then if you come to my streams on Saturday nights, 5 to 8 p.m., I'm doing a Stardew Valley challenge there where I'm doing an animal product only run with a few exceptions. So for crops, I'm only planting crops I know that are bundle items for the community center, and that's it. No other crops are being grown, nothing else. I'm literally just growing bundle items while trying to expand my coops and my barn and my just whatever else to have as many animals as possible. So those are some fun little Stardew Valley challenges I've been doing, and I love seeing the progress of all 3 because they're so different. And you are focusing on different things on all 3 farms, even though they're technically only 2 different challenges. It's really fun. I recommend doing a little Stardew challenge if you love the game as much as I do, or you're starting to get bored of the game. Maybe make a new farm and do a challenge today. Like I've been doing. What else have I been getting into? This is probably a bit more silly, but I do have the Game of Life 2. And you know, that game you're supposed to play with friends. And you're supposed to do like, you know, board game nights or whatever, right? I don't have that in my life. I really don't. So what I've been doing instead is going through each game board, because in the Game of Life 2 you have different game maps and different game boards, and you can get these collectible pieces, and if you get all 6 pieces by playing the game and unlocking achievements or whatever it is, you either get like a new icon or a new avatar, a new whatever it is, something new like that unlocks in your game. So I've been trying to 100% that by myself with no friends, even though it's a board game. I put on the computer AIs, okay, so I'm not alone, but I'm also very alone. Yeah. But it's been so fun to unlock pieces and things, getting like new outfits for your icon and like characters, new vehicles for you to have in the game. It is surprisingly like a fun, weirdly focused thing I'm doing. So I've been having fun with that and trying to unlock everything. There are so many maps and so many puzzle pieces and so many challenges though. It's gonna take me a while. So I'm glad that it's not getting boring yet. I'm just kind of grinding out the achievements and trying to unlock everything. So that's fun. Yeah, that's gaming. I bought a new game recently too, Luna Island. I've been watching Gab Smolders play Luna Island with her friend Aowen? Probably saying her name wrong. Oopsies. But it looks so cute. It's so fun. It's definitely a little survival, Stardew Valley RPG kind of little game. But it's so cute and so fun. The only problem I have is that my laptop, this little baby of mine, doesn't like running the game when I have other things open. So that's why I can't really stream it right now. I can't really play a lot of it if I'm watching a video or background stuff. The only way I can play Luna Island right now is if I put on my little earbuds, watch things on my phone, and then play the game on my laptop. So that's kind of a frustrating thing about my laptop. A lot of my games are starting to not be easily played right now. I think my laptop's starting to go with it. So I can't play Baldur's Gate 3 anymore, like at all, without it lagging like crazy. And that sucks because I just want to finish the game. I'm in Act 3 finally. I just want to freaking finish it. But it lags out too much for me to handle or play it, which is sad. Same with Luna Island. And the Game of Life 2, the one that I was talking about, trying to get all those achievements, even that game's starting to lag out on me and kind of be very stuttery and very, like, bad. So, I gotta figure out my laptop a little bit. I gotta get some upgrades maybe, or talk to my friend Daryl and be like, help, you gave me this laptop, how do I make it better? Help? But when I do get to play it and I'm in that mode where I just put on a Spotify playlist on my phone and play the game on the PC, it's really nice. I really like it. But with that being said too, with this my little laptop here kind of, stuttering and being a bit of a baby right now, I'm probably moving to more Switch games. Pretty soon. I finally get paid on February 1st. No, January 31st. January 30th. When does this week end? Does anyone know? The 31st. Okay. I finally get paid on the 31st, and I think I'm gonna get a couple games on my Switch. My little Switch, my baby. Hello. I have a Switch Lite, which is why I can't stream from my Switch. I haven't figured out how to do that whatsoever. But there's a couple games on sale right now that I want to grab for the Switch. One of them is something my sister recommended to me, which is Cat Quest. She says it's a very simple game, it's good, it's worth it for the money. And it's on sale right now for like $2.50. So I might grab Cat Quest. I was pulling up my list because I did make a list here somewhere. Where did I save my little list? Where's my little sticky note? My laptop sticky note. Where is it? Is it here? Awkward. Yes, okay, here it is. So I might get Cat Quest because it's on sale right now. I also might grab a game like Stardew Valley, but it's called Sacred Valley. There's that. And then I might also, because it's fun and if I can convince a couple friends to get it as well, I want to try to get Family Feud because I think that would be fun to play on the Switch. So I might be shifting a little bit away from PC gaming here in a little bit just to give my laptop a little break. It's working really hard right now. And move to like some more Switch games just for some fun and relaxation. Plus the Switch Lite is super mobile. And I can kind of go chill on the couch in the living room or in bed and play games. So I might be making that switch here soon. A switch to the Switch. Okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at a couple things. Oh, what time is it? Ooh, I was gonna phone my doctor's office today, but maybe I'll just do it tomorrow. Yeah, I'll just do it tomorrow. So yeah, gaming. I love it. Games are fun. Games are fun. My laptop is on the fritz though, so unless I might have to do a big laptop check with my friend Daryl on Friday night and just see how things are going with it, and then hopefully get back to playing all the games I want to play. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. Do-do-do. Dang, guys. I didn't expect to be able to be a chatty, yappy streamer for like an hour and 19 minutes, but here we are. The last topic I have on here for the whole day is getting a haircut. Oh my god. You see this hair? Oh my god. This hair is driving me nuts. It is just losing its oomph. It's losing its life a little bit. My bangs are different lengths. It is my hair. I haven't had a haircut in like a year, over a year, so it is well due for a change. And I've been looking into. You guys can't see really how long my hair is because it's all kind of a mess, but it goes down to like my chest. So I'm hoping. I've been looking into the wolf haircut styles a little bit so I can get it kind of layered, kind of like more floofy outs, kind of get it off my shoulders a bit, get a nice haircut. So needed. And what's cool about my city and a lot of the high schools in my city, because I work for high schools, different high schools all the time, and the one school that I worked at a while ago, I went to their open house because my little brother actually goes to this high school. And their cosmetology department actually takes in appointments for haircuts. And they do like a ton of different things. They do like dyes and cuts, styling, balayage, something like blah blah blah, whatever that one is called. Like they do so much actually at their cosmetology department. And they actually offer services to the community. And because I'm a staff member with M's in Public, I can get a discount. So I was thinking of going there and getting them to try that out and see how they do. It's kind of nerve-wracking to let students cut your hair. Teenagers cut your hair, I should say. But I think it's a cool way to support them. It's probably for marks and assignments and such. And then not only am I going to get my hair cut a bit shorter and a little bit more ragged looking in a nice way, I want to get my hair dyed a little. Ooh. I want to get my ends dyed. Like kind of the tips of my hair. I want to get them dyed like a rusty red color. Or like a copper color. So I think that'll be nice. Just kind of get it shorter, layered, kind of look like that little wolf cut. Where it's like shorter at the front and then longer in the back, like a mullet. Little layered, little fun waves throughout it, and then have all the ends all the way around dyed like a rusty red or coppery color. So I'm gonna hopefully do that next week. I'm excited. This hair just needs a chop. I have so many like split ends and dead ends, and it just needs. I need to uplift it a bit. It needs some love. Plus, it's a good thing to do for self-care and kind of unplug from the world for a while. Literally, get off your phone and have someone take care of you for an hour or so. It'll be nice. So nice. Is that it? Not all I want to talk about? Probably. There's other stuff on this list where I'm like, I don't know if I want to share. I was pretty vulnerable and open already today, so I might save the rest of these topics for my journaling. But I will say, I go through, I think probably most neurodivergent, neurospicy people kind of go through this, but for me, lately, like over this weekend actually, I feel like I've been in this like really hazy, dark cloud in many ways. Like I haven't been able to really think clearly or act clearly. It's just sort of been this like really hazy, cloudy mess of a mind that I've been in, like in the States. And so it's been going on for a few days now, because Friday I had a really bad day where I broke down constantly throughout the whole day. I was just a mess from situations that were happening, and I fell apart. And then over the whole weekend, I was just like overanalyzing that whole day, like Saturday and Sunday, even though I was hanging out with like my friend Ryan, and I was also like watching fun things and trying to like, when you're in that like darkness, you want to try to pull yourself out of it. So I was doing those things, but still felt like I couldn't think clearly. It literally felt like there was a cloud, like a dark cloud stuck in my mind the whole day for 3 days straight, basically. And then that very fun feeling though is when you finally wake up like I did today, and it's like suddenly you feel like you can think clearly again, and then all these ideas pop into your mind. So I've been sitting here since I woke up this morning at 6 a.m. just like writing notes on index cards, going like, write this down, because if you don't, you're gonna forget about it when the next dark cloud hits you and you can't think straight. So I've been writing down ideas of like, hey, you've caused a mess in your room, you haven't taken care of your space quite well. Why don't you do a big cleaning day when you're in this like clear state again? And then you can call, there's a charity junk removal service that is in my city. And so I literally wrote down, where's this? What did I write down? Oh, I literally wrote down, like clarity day, like clean room, get all the garbage bags into one area, get all the dishes in the kitchen and clean them yourself. You can do it. I wrote that. You can do it. And then when you're done cleaning, call junk removal so that they can come on a day and get rid of it. And it's a charity one, so you donate what you think is appropriate for that junk removal service. So I put myself down a little budget of like the minimum to max that I'm willing to spend on that. So I wrote down that idea, and then I wrote down a couple other things like also look for a new cat tree for Mitzi because the two you have are broken. My cat breaks cat trees more than I can afford them. Gotta love being a cat mom, hey? Gotta love being a cat mom. Then another idea I had was like, instead of waiting for messages on a dating app from the person you're talking to, get their damn number already. I wrote that down. So I actually like messaged, I am talking to someone on a dating app. I haven't gone on a date yet, hopefully soon. Going, hey, you and I are both struggling to message each other on this little silly app because I think we both have our notifications off. Oops. Can I have your number and we can text? And yeah, they were like, yes, here's my number. A great idea. So there's that. So yeah, again, clarity has come to my head today. And even with my nutrition or my dietitian this morning, we've been trying to like reschedule this appointment for a while, but the messaging platform that she uses doesn't always allow me to reply back to her, and I don't have her email or phone number. And so I have to go through the whole like kind of like a network that kind of assigns people to different things, and going through that is like a 35-minute process, which is so annoying every time you call. So finally, when we met today, I was like, can I have your number, like your work number, so then I can call you directly for the next appointment, because I think we're both struggling with the system you're using. She's like, I agree, here's your number. So it's so funny to me that I can be in this like really dark, clouded, brain foggy mess of a headspace for days, sometimes weeks, and then the one day I wake up with complete clarity. I'm like, here's a good idea, here's what I need to do, I should do this, that's a great idea, I'm gonna do this as well. Just out of nowhere, my brain gets like flooded in with like, hey, I know how to make your life easier, let's go make your life easier. I wish my brain would just do that all the time and not on certain days where I finally feel mentally good. But I'm just like, if you have that experience too, let me know, because I don't want to, I feel like it's crazy, but then also I know that it's very like, I'm very neurospicy in that regard when it comes to like depression and being in a fog of just like nothingness for so long. And plus PCOS can cause brain fog too, and those like lowered emotions. And I've been struggling with like when you're on your period, and I've been on my period for 60 days, baby. So there's also that element as well that I have to kind of give myself some grace and compassion for. And really, the only thing you can do when you're in those dark clouds is just kind of make plans to make yourself feel better. So even though my whole body was screaming at me, don't do fucking anything yesterday, including hanging out with Ryan, my friend, and talking to my friend Daryl too last night, my whole body's like, no, go to bed. No talk to humans. Humans bad. I was like, nope. I'm gonna fight that urge. These are my friends. I'm sure they care about me. I think they love me. I'm gonna say yes and do it no matter what. And I'm glad I did, because that might have led to this sort of better, clearer mental day that I've been needing for so long. So lean on your friends. They might help you pull yourself out of those clouds, and it's nice when they do. But yeah, it's very funny. Just being so used to being in a dark place and being in a dark cloud in a brain foggy, weird Twilight Zone experience, to just suddenly wake up one morning going, it's all gone. Whoa, it is nice out. I actually like seeing the sunshine today. What? I actually, dare I say, want to go outside? What? It was very, very weird. I still feel that way where I'm like, whoa, my brain doesn't feel weird today. I feel good. Damn. Well, how? So just a unique experience to share with everyone today. Oh, fun times. All right. I have exhausted all of my topics. What? Do I want to keep streaming? Ooh, I don't know. 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 I could ask the chat, would you guys want me to show you around my Stardew Valley farms for a little bit? But I know the chat's been a little quiet. And that's okay. Lurkers are gonna lurk. People are gonna hang out. They're gonna listen. That's totally fine. But if you are around and you want me to show you Stardew Valley, I can. Meanwhile, I'm gonna check a couple things. Uh-oh. Wait, what's all this about? Ooh, my work wants me to wear purple. Okay. I'll wear purple on the 29th. I love that. That's a great thing. I will wear purple. My name is purple. So easy peasy. I was not checking my work emails during a stream. What? Never. There's a bunch of emails that popped up all at once, and I was like, oh god, what did I do? But there we go. Alright. You know what, friends? We're gonna end it there, because I've shared a lot, I've talked a lot, I had a lot of opinions about a lot of things, and I'm starting to feel that, like, vulnerability hangover, where I'm like, oh no, did I share too much? So I think I'm gonna end it there, but thank you, as always, for watching. You can always follow for the next stream. It might be Saturday night this week, or it might be the following Saturday. I'm not sure. It depends on how I feel when I get home. On Saturday, like this week, February 1st, I have an all-day training, basically, from like 8:30 in the morning to 4 p.m. So if I have enough energy after that, I might stream. And if I don't play a game, I might do another just chatty stream like this. So we'll see. It might be this Saturday or the following Saturday. But I will end this here going, take care of yourselves out there in whatever form that looks like for you. Just believe in yourselves. Reach out to friends if you need it. And as always, just yeah, find those little glimmers out there, because that's the opposite of triggers. Go find some glimmers out there, whether it's appreciating the weather, the sunshine, your cats, whatever kind of brings a little bit of joy for your way. It will go a long way, I promise. All right. With that, I wish you all a good night, and we will chat hopefully this weekend, and if not, the following weekend. All right, folks. Bye bye.